the miracles that Jesus had done, I found them in the Quran. There were even a couple of Jesus miracles mentioned in the Quran that were not mentioned in the Bible.
A former female priest who spent more than 2 decades in the Episcopal Church is now speaking out after being defrocked because she embraced another faith. Today, Ann Holmes Redding calls herself both a Christian and a Muslim, but her move to Islam.
But how was it possible that this man, a priest of 30 years, decided to join Islam? As a priest, he knows what is right and what is wrong. What informed his decision to become a Muslim after 30 years of romance with Christianity?
هومز ريدن راهبة مسيحية تصلي 5 مرات في اليوم على الطريقة الإسلامية بعد اعتناقها الإسلام.
Я принял ислам, потому что не нашел в христианской церкви.
أنا دخلت في الإسلام لأنني وجدت في الإسلام التوحيد الحقيقي الذي لم أجده في الكنيسة النصرانية. نحن كنا نسمع عن التوحيد، ولكن في الحقيقة كنا نتعلم التثليث، الأمر الذي لم يقنعني. ولما تعلمت على الإسلام وجدت التوحيد الحقيقي من غير أي نوع من أنواع الشرك.
Islam is the only monotheistic religion. There's no Trinity. It never makes sense. 3 never makes 1. The Quran, even in the English translation, just completely made sense to me.
He went to Nigeria to apparently preach the gospel. He succeeded and he came back to Sierra Leone. But how did he become a Muslim at the middle of everything?
Well, our next guest did just that. After being a Catholic priest in Britain, he left to become a teacher and studied in Egypt, where he converted to Islam and became a Muslim. He is now in Ireland to spread the word of the Quran, and he joins us in studio this morning. Good morning to you.
I read the Quran, and I see that thread of the message of God from Adam to Abraham, Moses, David, Saul, all the way through to Muhammad.
Я бывший священник, служил в городе Курске около 6 лет. Совсем недавно принял ислам. Преподавал в Курской духовной семинарии несколько лет, был руководителем молодежного отдела Курской епархии. И когда я стал знакомиться с исламом, то я для себя многое понял и в конце концов пришел к тому выбору, который я сейчас сделал, произнес шахаду.
After going to Catholic school for 12 years, my faith needed a little bit more depth in it, and I was able to find it in Islam.
И стал полноценным священником. Но что же привело его в конечном итоге в ислам? Священник сказал:
He was a Catholic priest.
I knew I needed to become Muslim. I knew that. So it was that next year where I became a Muslim, alhamdulillah.
In fact, she says it was Jesus himself who led her to Islam.
You think Jesus led you to become a Muslim?
Yes.
Muslims believe in Jesus. We love Jesus so much, and we can't even be Muslim really if we don't believe in Jesus, because that's one of our stepping stones to our religion.
The name exalted over and over in Islam is Jesus.
I was told that Jesus is the Messiah who will come back at the end of time to establish the kingdom of justice and peace.
Not Muhammad?
Not Muhammad, the Christ, son of Mary. You cannot be a Muslim if you don't believe Jesus is the Messiah. It's in the Quran.
Ну, я вот просто знаю людей, которые вникают в смысл, например, мусульманства, и им очень нравится.
Если ислам привлекателен, то именно за счет того, что там содержится нечто, что близко приближается к истине. Там учение о едином Боге, например.
Islam is a faith. It's a way of living before God, of responding to the daily commands of the Creator.
What brought me to Islam is me trying to convince someone else to become a Christian.
In Europe.
And I had left the local church. I just decided to
go to God. For no reason at all, I just went to God in prayer and asked Him that I wanted the truth, no matter what it takes. I picked up the Quran and held it to my face and kissed it. I stated, why hasn't anyone told us about this?
As a Christian, I consider Jesus a prophet, but he's a prophet of the one God. There's not several. So as a Christian, I worship Allah.
If you're not Muslim, stop scrolling. Listen, before I became Muslim, I thought that Allah was a different God. It's not. It's the same God. It's the creator of the universe. Because I'm Muslim now that I know this. Not just because of that, but I learned a lot about Islam, and all of my original beliefs kind of already lined up with all of it. In Christianity, I was like, when people asked me about the Trinity, I literally couldn't explain it. I was like, wow, you're right. I haven't even thought about it like that. So it makes sense. Islam makes sense. Islam is so beautifully making sense.
I see the beauty of Islam in a very strong way. A simple approach to God, a simple approach to prayer and devotion. I'm very touched by 5 times a day praying. I'm very touched by the Ramadan, by the fasting, the beautiful presence of God and the power of God.
It's a very inclusive religion, more inclusive than Judaism or Christianity. Judaism has its chosen people, the circumcised. Christianity has its chosen people, the baptized. The chosen people in the Quran are all monotheists, any of them. From Adam on, there's an unceasing stream of prophets, beginning with Adam, coming down through Isaiah, Abraham, Moses, Jesus, John the Baptist, Mary, the mother of Jesus.